as Boogie Boy can boogie-woogie it up a little bit in this game. His new idea, of course, is
ALBM Squirtle.
Of course, what Keller is talking about is Gobugi, the Korean word for Squirtle. So it's basically the same ID, just he had to change his ID.
I had no idea.
Yeah.
I just knew that he was Boogie Boy, but that was actually like a hybrid name. No clue. Well, his opponent starts to the top left. We have the Zerg in blue starting for Kespar's 8th team. It is
8th team ALBM.
Well, I guess he actually is ALBM and not album, but ALBM becomes album. I don't know.
Let's just call him Al.
Yeah, just like in Angels, was Angels in the Outfield, that movie where the guy, God, what's the guy's the guy who plays in Back to the Future. Why can't I think of his name? Christopher Lloyd, is it?
Yeah.
Is that correct?
I think so.
Yeah, he says just call me Al, and he
names.
points to his hat. That's how I think of when
We're
you say
gonna
that.
call him Al. I mean, I can live with JYP, with MC, with JD, and TY, and all of them. But if you go for 4, my limit is 3.
Yeah.
So he's Al.
All right. Well, you know, we get to make that choice because we're like the first people casting him here.
Thing is, like, Al does do what you would expect. He goes into the pool first here, and he's blocked by Squirtle's probe. Even going for the pylon block here. Well done by Squirtle, who goes for the gateway opening in this case and doesn't start with a forge first.
I just see Squirtle, you know, he's watching that game earlier with Trap, and he's like, that looks really fun. I'll try that strategy. He's like, I think that a Zerg can't beat that. Nice cancel here. He could actually, if he wants to, block again. Already the 3rd hatchery has been placed. And Squirtle is going to... he lets it go.
Actually sticks around a little bit longer here, and now I can check the 3rd base. 3rd base is, of course, already there. And let's see what Squirtle is going to do with this gateway opening that he started. We have him with a probe still hiding here, can place down a pylon, and we have immediately the chrono boost on the Stalker, so no attempts of getting another base just yet. He can really go for a lot of aggression here. We've seen all these timings that Naniwa has been using. A DreamHack was really successful.
He has only 1 gas, so it starts to look more and more that way. There's the Nexus, so it's just it's going to be a 1 gateway Stalker pressure expand. And he could go into 4 gateways after this, of course, if he wants to. He could also do the Nexus cancel 4 gate. Let's see what he's chrono boosting back at home.
Let me talk a little bit about what ALBM, Big L or whatever, has done in the qualifier bracket that he was playing in when he qualified for this league, for this match. He took down 2 Protoss players with a 2-0. He won against Hero, and he also won against Brown. 2 very strong Protoss players, so that is really impressive, especially since he didn't lose a single map. On the other hand, we have with Squirtle a very experienced opponent that does not only have the experience in the booth, but also in this matchup. The last time we saw him play here was in the GSTL, where he was sent out by his team, 3 killed, took the win for his team, and eliminated players like JKS and Lenog, good Zerg players. So this is going to be a pretty cool. I don't want to say there's a clash of the tides, a little bit David against Goliath, but it's definitely a match where Squirtle has to be careful given the performance that we've seen from ALBM in the Challenger League qualifier.
Yeah, we now see the 3rd gateway, which will complete the 4th, you know, if you add 3 to 1, because he only had 1 gateway, of course, before. And he's chrono boosting warp gate research.
You've been practicing your math skills.
I did get that 1 book called How to Count. I'm working on it. It's really hard though, so I haven't finished it yet. But you know, speaking of counting, you know, he can't count on that 4th gateway just yet because he added it so late because he wanted to hide it from the Zerg. So he only has 3 right now. The 4th one, though, will finish very soon. He can walk across the map with his Mothership Core, do a lot of damage with this, and then recall if there's too many links.
Very early Roach Roaring here, 640 already, and he knows now that Squirtle is moving out, ALBM that is, moves out with his units, and the Mothership Core is there as well. So this is going to be very, very interesting. A cool timing here for Squirtle. This is the aggression that we've seen in more and more Protoss versus Zerg. The Mothership Core makes it possible to recall back. Let's see how much damage Squirtle can actually deal to his opponent.
I can't believe he let that probe live. The probe lives, and this means more forward pylons can be added later. This one's going to survive as well. He's trying to make a Spinecrawler here. Good force field traps on the Queen. Queen will be assassinated. More Queens coming to join, and they're like, well, this isn't a good idea. I got to get out of here.
The Queens look at that and they're like, whoa, well, let's head back home. This is a bit too dangerous.
That Mothership core makes a loud noise. It's really scary.
Yeah, it certainly does. And now the Zerglings run in, but this is a very, very scary timing here. And Squirtle could pull that off. He's really trying to go for it, and he takes down one of the Roaches that is immediately being trapped here.
Yeah, he needs to save his Mothership core, though. Good force fields again, so the Zealots can come in, but the Queen sneaks out. Slippery little Queen there.
He's gonna lose one, though. There's no transfuse. The energy wasn't there yet. And now, does he really kill this third? This is the big problem that a lot of Zergs have. Holding a third base against this timing is nearly impossible.
And the Mothership core is getting more and more strength to her. The energy nearing 200, and once that happens,
we will see Time Warps in addition to the recall. You're so right.
And he can make Zealots work against Roaches with Time Warps decently well. And he's just catching these units and letting them spawn and die. He's intentionally not targeting those eggs down. And now he just lets the Roaches come out and die. He's like, fine, I'll take those for free.
Takes the Roaches, takes down the Overlord too. Now finally the tech into Lair, but Squirtle is already far ahead in the game.
I think more Zergs need to be canceling Larva like that, by the way. You get resources back. There's nothing to lose there, except 2 Roaches when you don't cancel. He's going to actually commit to the attack now. He can recall at any time if he feels this is not a good idea. He wants to get up and hit those force fields just like we saw before on the ramp, but he doesn't do it. He
supply blocks his opponent, though. ALBM has to pull all his drones now, and this is a very dangerous position, but we have the recall. Squirtle is looking at this like, you know what, I've done the damage. I completely supply blocked you. I did so much to you. I can just recall back, and I will be in the best position ever.
Now we can start to think about taking a third base even, because he's got the tech in place at the Twilight Council to get Blink. Of course, he wants to start +1. That's one thing that's missing from a Protoss whenever they go for a time like this, is the Forge and the upgrades.
You know, these timings that we see of Protoss players now, especially in this matchup, are so damn sexy, it's unbelievable. Yep. I love this. Mothership core really being put to some use, and it's really, really nice to see that. And it forces a reaction. Zerg players have to be more, a little bit more cautious of how they approach the early game when they put down that third base.
Well, we have the Infestation Pit now, and I think that Al is going to be going down the Swarm Host route. And he's going to be facing a third base from Squirtle. Squirtle's going to drop that pretty soon. He's adding the gates now and the Robo.
He needs a Nidus, though, if he wants to do that. At least a Nidus would benefit him greatly. You usually want to build a Nidus so that you can put the Swarm Host in a position right at the front door of your opponent. I would be surprised to not see a Nidus. Walking across the map with them is a bit weird. The extra Queens are there to deal with air units and also to use transfuses, so that's what you usually would do. But so far, we have the upgrade for the longevity of the Locust, but we don't see a Nidus just yet.
Yeah, you're right. And I mean, he could wait and try to surprise the opponent, wait until he gets like 6 or 8 Swarm Hosts before he makes it, but I think he should make it.
Because let's talk a bit about the downside of what Squirtle does. Squirtle will have his Colossi very late in the game, and you need some kind of area of effect damage against the Locusts. If you don't have that, then the Swarm Hosts are going to be really strong.
Yeah, he also has an Observer out already, so he can just walk across the map and be aggressive. Because he knows something like this is going on. He's like, it's probably either Mutas or it's going to be Swarm Hosts. And if he catches those Swarm Hosts in the middle of the map, it doesn't matter if they burrow or not if he has an Observer with his army.
He needs to burrow them now.
He needs to, and he's going to lose. Well, he loses a lot of hit points there.
You know, at least for now, that makes sure that if he gets more Swarm Hosts out there, it makes sure that the Protoss player can't attack into them. Squirtle, that is. Because Squirtle has a massive army, and there are only 3 Swarm Hosts. 5 are not enough. You need a lot more.
The Observer's coming. He's about to have it, and as soon as he does, he can actually just kill these.
He needs a lot more Swarm Hosts. This is not going to help. He is not going to survive this. There's no way.
Squirtle's just going to kill him, man. I think this is what we're about to watch here.
With 10 Swarm Hosts, 12, 13 maybe, but with only 5, there is no way.
With no support for them either. He's isolated here. All he's got in his supply is drones. GG.
That was